Hello everybody, welcome back to another contest entry. This one is for Rob over at Northern Revolutions up in Canada. Rob is hosting his very first contest called Get to Know Ya. It's a pretty easy contest. If you don't know Northern Revolutions, I'll have the contest video below. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. And what he wants us to do is to show 3 albums that we have some nostalgic relationship with. They don't necessarily have to be our favorite albums, just 3 albums that we have some stories behind that take us back to another place, maybe in our childhood, maybe, maybe it could be last year, who knows. And he also wants us to shout out at least one channel. He said preferably smaller than your own, though it doesn't have to be. I'm going to mention 2 channels, and that's what Rob did as well, so I thought I'd follow in his footsteps. And I appreciate Rob because Rob likes a lot of the same music I do. He likes music like Blue Rodeo. That's his favorite band. It's a Canadian kind of Americana rock band. But he also likes stuff like the Wallflowers, the band, etc. So go ahead and check out his channel. And again, I appreciate him because he took part in my contest a couple months ago, and that's how I kind of was introduced to his channel. So Rob, here is my entry. All right, the first 2 things I'm going to do are mention a couple of channels that are smaller than mine. The first is going to be a channel called Rob Skewer Music. This channel used to be called Robert S., and a lot of y'all know Robert S. If you watch, a lot of live streams. He hangs out with Stephen Schnee during his Tuesday night live stream. He hangs out with Joe Mayo. He's actually real life friends with Joe Mayo on his channel. He hangs out with Doc Dacus, and he also hangs out with me and my friends with the Canadian Stud Muffin on his live streams as well. So Robert makes a lot of time for a lot of people, and check out his channel. He talks about artists that you may have not heard of, and he kind of does in-depth analysis about an artist or an album. So I'll have his channel below. That's Rob Skewer Music. So I think it's a cool name. The second channel is a channel that's just shy of 400 subs, so it's right around the same size as my channel. It's a gentleman by the name of Matthew Turnage. I was introduced to Matthew when I did a show with him and Joe Mayo. A couple months ago, we talked about, I can't even remember the album now. We were talking about, it was for Joe's show, Fab Gab. It was one of the Beatles albums, and I cannot remember for the life of me. Oh, it was Revolver. We ranked the songs on Revolver. So if you like the Beatles, check out Matthew. But he also loves, he's getting really into the Beach Boys' deeper catalog, Brian Wilson and Bob Dylan. He's really getting into Bob Dylan. So if you like the Beatles, Beach Boys, Bob Dylan, or several other genres that Matthew occasionally talks about, check out his channel. So Rob Skewer Music, Matthew Turnage. All right, the next part, and obviously you need to subscribe to Rob's channel at Northern Revolutions, is to show 3 albums that hold some sort of nostalgic connection to you. So the first, and this might not be the exact album that I listened to when I was a kid, but it's definitely one I listened to a lot. This is Elvis, and this is his compilation, the #1 hits. This has 18 tracks on it. You have stuff like Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, Love Me Tender, Suspicious Minds, Good Luck Charm, A Big Hunk of Love, Don't, Are You Lonesome Tonight? And I remember as a kid listening to a lot of Elvis's greatest hits on cassette tape. And I remember I had a little recorder, like a little Fisher-Price recorder that I would make tapes with. And I remember singing Hound Dog and All Shook Up. And of course, this was before the days of really high-speed computers. So I didn't know the lyrics to the songs. And so I had my parents painstakingly write out the lyrics, generally on little post-it notes, like sticky notes that I would kind of tape up so that I could see the lyrics verse by verse. And I remember singing Elvis songs into the tape player. So this album I've had for a long time, and it's not one that I'll ever get rid of. So Elvis, #1 hits is the first one. Next, another childhood album. I'm going to go Christmas. This is the Statler Brothers Christmas Card. And this is my favorite Christmas album of all time. I would venture to say this is probably my top 20 favorite albums of all time, if I was to do a ranking. And I know some people, Christmas, they don't like it. They think it's hokey. But what's so great about this album is that the Statlers are songwriters, so you've got some great originals on here. Like Who Do You Think? Something You Can't Buy, Christmas to Me, I Believe in Santa's Cause. And then you have standards on here like Jingle Bells, I'll Be Home for Christmas, White Christmas, Way in the Manger. And if you don't know the Statler Brothers were a gospel quartet that used to back Johnny Cash back in the 60s. They were with him at San Quentin. They were with him at Folsom. And I love them because they're Virginia boys. They're from the town of Stanton, Virginia, up in the Shenandoah Valley, which is about 20 minutes from where I went to college. And I had the privilege of being able to meet two of the original Statler brothers. They came to a program at my college, and they were actually just in the audience watching a guest speaker. So I got to meet Don and Harold Reed, the two brothers of the group, because they're not really all brothers, and their names aren't Statler. So they got it from a box of tissues, the name. But yeah, Christmas Card. It's the first Christmas album I try to listen to when the season comes around. It's got to be playing when I'm, at my parents' opening presents under the tree. It's a must. So, Christmas Card by the Statler Brothers. Love it. It brings back a lot of memories. And then to move up a little bit further up in my life, let's jump ahead to about 8th and 9th grade. This is the Traveling Wilburys. Specifically, this is the box set, but specifically Volume 1, Traveling Wilburys. And if you don't know the Traveling Wilburys, it's the most super group of super groups. I would love for anybody to say otherwise, but with the exception of, like Band-Aid or, that kind of thing, where it was like a one-off thing. The Wilburys actually had a catalog. They actually had 2 records that they put out. So you have Jeff Lynne, who produced it and sang and wrote all over it. You have Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and George Harrison. And the first album, Traveling Wilburys Volume 1, I listened to that album so much when I was finishing up middle school. It saved me through middle school angst and middle school problems that everybody deals with. I was actually at a new school in 8th grade. I started a new school, and it was a very rigorous curriculum. I didn't think I was going to make it. I had tons of homework every night, hours. My parents were really helpful in getting some of my homework done with me, and helping out with projects late into the night. But Traveling Wilburys Volume 1, I had it on in my little CD player beside my bed, like my little boombox. We listened to it in the car. It was playing at supper time at our house during family dinners. So I can't say enough good things about Traveling Wilburys Volume 1. I mean, you've got stuff like Handle with Care, Dirty World, Not Alone Anymore, one of the most beautiful vocals by Roy Orbison. Congratulations, Heading for the Light, which is like a kind of like what the Beatles would have sounded like if they had gone to the 80s. And then the song Margarita, which has one of my favorite lines of all time that Tom Petty sings, which is, she wrote a long letter on a short piece of paper. That's one of my favorite lines of any song. So, and then of course you have the magnum opus, Tweeter and the Monkey Man, followed by End of the Line. Fantastic. I know that album backwards and forwards, and it's not one that I get sick of. So there you go, Rob. There's my entry. Everybody go subscribe to Rob. Let's get him up to 500 subscribers. He puts a lot of work into his videos. He has really nice quality, and easy to follow along with. Just an all around cool cat. So check out Rob, Northern Revolutions, and also check out Rob Skewer Music and Matthew Turnage. So y'all be good. Take care, and I'll see y'all in the next one.